My name is Rhapsody and welcome back to Darkest Dungeon 2. We're headed into the Sluice with a party that's doing a lot of work. A lot of work. Huge amounts of damage, a lot of mitigation, a lot of healing, a lot of stress management.
This
is swine country. Again, with no mapping in this general area, I will just take the thing that looks like it might be the good one. So the left one had a candle of hope and the right one did not. Boom, decision made. Do I want to be targeted here? Because blight resists in this area are going to be pretty high, and I don't do much damage without that. Yeah, you know what? Why don't you target me? I have taunt. Greg, can you target me? Can I put the...
Observe the subject carefully, and you will discover its weaknesses.
Yeah, I could put the carrion eater in the back line, but that won't change anything. However, I can bellow at all the enemies, and that would remove a dodge token from the swine skulker. That'll be what we do then.
Weaken them, that another may finish the work.
Do I want to heavily weaken and set up combo on that target? Or do I want to set up combo on someone else? No, legitimately the Swine Skulker is going to be the first one that I want to... Oh, with Sparkle Ball we actually prevented them from being able to move as well. They skitter, they're invisible, but they didn't move. Oh, hell yeah. Time for harvest. Rolling through with all of my bleed. We did actually manage to hit the 6 on someone. We got gored. Love it. Thank you for putting me on low HP. That is when I am at my most potent.
A brilliant conclusion.
Yeah. 5 blight for 3 turns and for 5 turns. There. You see your mistake, I assume by this point.
An unavoidable end.
But it's too late to fix it. Let's see if I can stun the swine brute. 40% chance to resist on their behalf. They managed. Still got dazed though. Wow, this Abyssal Artillery coming out at this time actually, I believe, allows me to take out both of the backline units before they ever get in action. Incroyable. Absolutely incroyable. Hello, Flagellant. I was about to say, could you do me a favor and get to 5 stress, but you did. You already did that. Oh, I can apply the burn. And the... Oh my god. This is legitimately actually pretty sick as a setup for our Occultist there in the back line. I'd like to have more health by the time I leave this battle, and I'm don't. I'm currently don't. Sure, I have 16 in that little ditty area of health, but that's not enough. I'm gonna remove that bleed.
This wound, at least, has been tended to.
2588. Yeah, I'm gonna be able to target you, I believe, with the weird reconstruction next turn, which I'm gonna be pretty happy to have done. Let's just roll some damage on the big boy. Yeah, that's about how it goes. We'll go with the higher crit modifier of the 2 here.
Malaise. Measured and steady.
Oh, yes. Just a comfy 18 HP there.
Though unpleasant in the extreme, this work is noble and necessary.
we're starting to get some explosives actually generating in our inventory. Let's make sure that I'm not denying myself the ability to socket some combat items or stack some stuff. Neither. So we'll head into a warren instead. Okay, who can risk their relationship with Willow? And both of us, pretty much. Alright, Tristan. You know what, I'm gonna set up the combo and the double weaken on the enemy's backline here. Oh, also Sparkle Ball, prevent them from moving forward. Love that. Harvest gets dodged, but I do manage to provide the full 18 bleed with the assistance of the Fisherman's Line to the backline Swine Brute. Then if I rampart the Swine Skulker, dang, if they actually did move, I would have put them in position for a good acid rain there, but in lieu of that, I think I'm just going to traditionally strike here. Oh man, the Cleansing Claws. Big skidder. As long as the Jester doesn't act ahead of you in the next round. Never mind. Okay. Then why don't you target your big damage attack on someone who's going to heal about it? Pig sticker them for 11, and that's only going to cause them to get back 10% of their... Wait, hang on. I didn't upgrade more? Could have sworn I was going to upgrade more. 10% of their HP, which is going to be, like 9? So you dealt 2 damage. Good move. I'm also going to set up vulnerability on this... on the Carrion Eater. Double blind.
In crisis, we can rely only upon each other.
Big reasoning here being I would like to deal some damage and increase some relationships. Oh, baby. Thank you for that pain. I do expect that. I'm going to set up the combo and double weaken on the Carrion Devourer there. Harvest our way through 2. Oh my god, the huge bleeds. Loving that. I might actually have some time to get some stress recovery near the end of this one as well. That'll be especially true in a situation where I bellow right now. Actually managed to stun the Swine Brute. Not relevant, because they will die as soon as they act. Vulnerability Hex for removing the Block Plus token there. Rampart's not going to be capable of accessing that line. I'm going to target the Swine Brute. Nice. Munch misses. And actually, the Jester acts next. This is perfect then. I get to use Endure to take the stress off of our front line, and then I can take it directly off of our second liner. Those being Tristan and Victor. At the start of every run, I kind of have to just remember the new names of the characters. It takes a little moment, but I eventually get it locked in, I think. Could I get more out of this fight by persisting? I could. I'm gonna yell at these. I don't want to do it like that, but... if I am presented the opportunity. Like, for instance, oh, nice. Unfortunately, that didn't do any stress recovery there. Yeah, the enemy is going to be acting relatively slow in the next turn. They die to that DOT, I believe guaranteed as well, yeah. Roll big defender there. Obviously not relevant, but did want to do it anyway. Probably shouldn't have done that because that was actually damage to myself. There's another inspiring tune for 2 more stress off of the body, and then the enemy dies to their DOT. Honestly, I probably should untag Bolster at this point. It's not necessary. Lower burn resist, but higher bleed resist? I mean, if I didn't have full trinket slots, I would definitely end up using that. Yeah, Tristan, you just don't really need Bolster. You might later, but it just doesn't really make that much sense for you right now. Stand fast, admittedly, feels like that'd be pretty good. A little bit more damage mitigation from our front line, so I don't have to rely so much on healing items and in-combat healing. Victor, you also have like a dead move, don't you? Yeah, Lash's Gift will almost never activate because with 88 health, am I going to want to get down to the 8 health to 16 health to actually activate Lash's Gift? Almost never. I feel like Sepsis might actually be appropriate. It only requires a target to have Blight, and for us to be below 50% HP, which is not that difficult to hit, and it gets us back to 45% HP, which is often going to be a pretty big heal. That said, that's also a good heal in the same situation when Weird Reconstruction is going to be a good heal. Strangeness.
Through them, and so they must fall.
Unfortunately, Victor needs to jeopardize their relationship further with Willow here in order to set up some vulnerability on the enemies. The vulnerability on the big swine removed the block token they otherwise would have had. Yeah, I love the idea of Acid Rain for the boat. There we go. I will use Defender on my second line here as well, actually. If nothing else, I'm getting 2 block plus tokens, and also the biggest attacks that the Swine Brute can use.
Look at the thing, as repulsive as it is.
Do hit both of those positions. The squeal from the front line that hits only one of those 2 positions would then be redirected at least. Sky Slap. Oh, we got some burn and some daze and some blind. Oh, it's so good. Unfortunately, I have to use Slice Off here rather than Harvest. But it does crit!
Strength dwindles.
Cannot be too mad about that. I do want to endure, but I think the fight's going to go long enough that I can roll another Acid Rain right now. Oh my god. That Sparkle Ball is ridiculous. Swine Brute's going down to Death's Door as soon as it attempts to act here, so it doesn't really make sense to try and focus it in any way. Alas, I have no other targets there. There's the smash. Now I can use my inspiring tune. Please do not just disease one of the members of my party. We've been doing quite well. Never mind, I can't use the inspiring tune because I'm resolute. The HP below 50% at round start, clear stress. This is a really good party for just funneling stress into and clearing it through the flagellant. All runs with a flagellant, mind, are good runs fundamentally for that kind of interaction, but this one even more so, somehow. I'm gonna yell at these corpses. There's another inspiring tune for you. Why don't you cop that tune? Oh my god, that stress recovery is so good. It is ruining me, mind, but it is good. There we go, we clear our blindness token at the absolute least. I have to take more stress off the target, then lose access to my guard, slice off, and heck, I'll even use Demon's Pull. I've got to make sure that I am dealing damage consistently here so that the game doesn't decide I'm trying to stall, which I totally am, but I can't have the game know that. That'll do. I can put you down to death's door, and in doing so, reveal you to a weird reconstruction. Pop another inspiring tune out, and then finish off the enemy at the very end. Ta-da! That felt like a great fight. That felt as good as fights get.
What you can, and be off once more.
Didn't even use any combat items there. Hey! Ooh, a bear trap and a Molotov cocktail? I'm already damned, says Victor. What's the harm? Tristan never had a knife for this stuff. Anyone else here? I mean, Victor, why don't you take another positive quirk from this, as well as a possible negative? You did not get the negative, but you did get the possible positive. If flame is low, 10% extra damage at combat start, 50% chance to become stealthed. I don't like that both of our frontliners have a chance to be stealthed, because that means, like, if all of the enemies are faster than me, they can't attack our frontline, so they have to focus our backline in the first round, which you don't want to have happen. The enemies don't even want that to have happen. That's why I keep designing parties to be able to evade the front and hit the backline. Ugh. Acid rain, some stay dry and others feel the pain. Acid rain. It's time for some harvesting, certainly. Look, I'm removing the dodge tokens, if nothing else.
Incremental, but deadly all the same.
I'm gonna elect to bellow here.
Cunning. You may outwit them yet.
In order to guarantee that I have the ability to finish off the enemies that are otherwise going to resist things this round. So if I knock you back, Sky Slaps becomes more effective. I'm gonna say instantly crit that character to death and don't need to Sky Slap anymore. That said, sorry, don't need to Sky Slap for that character's sake. I still need to Sky Slap because if I did anything except for the lowest amount of damage there, which I did, which was 3, we were gonna kill the Swine Skulker before they got a move. Alas. That didn't turn out to be the case. Let's endure some stress. Obviously, it's time for some corpse. consumption. Yeah, I'm also going to take the stress off of our Occultist there in the back line. Feels like this fight could end a lot sooner than I want it to for the sake of the things that I intend to do here, so I might as well try and get as much of it done as quickly as possible.
Writ large.
Definitely weaken this target. So have some combo on them as well. They're also double blinded. Come on, couldn't you miss the corpse? Oof, that's a crit. I'd like you not to actually use them.
The enemy weakens and wanes.
Oh, the big crits.
Measured and steady.
Yeah, Bellow's not upgraded. I don't have the ability to remove that crit from you.
Hold fast, for who knows what lurks in the beyond.
I mean, hey, at least you saved me the Endure by putting it on the right character immediately.
A master stroke.
I can hardly find fault with that. I mean, I can heal up as well as get the enemy onto death's door with a strike. But I also don't really want to do that. I'm going to use more. Force the attack there. And get ready to start healing off of it.
Emboldened.
I'm going to yell at the enemy in order to try and buy myself some time in the next round.
Reprieve from this carousel of horrors.
So after this turn, I will heal. I think I can strike here and be okay. Yep. Didn't even do any damage. Unfortunately now, though.
A righteous action.
Our Man-at-Arms is
burning brightly for all the world to see.
debuff resistance and disease resistance. Interesting. Anyone benefit more from that than what else they're holding? I don't think so. Clenching Claws and Sparkle Ball and everything like that. We're just debuffing the absolute hell out of the party, the enemy party, clearly, consistently. Yeah, I'm gonna need to find ways to heal Tristan better. So let's pop a Adrenaline Tonic into Ballard's slot there. Also, let's quick look at the Defender 2 times in single fight. Easy. Fade to Black 2 times in single fight. Bit more difficult. Probably not going to end up doing that, to be honest. Enter the Sprawl? Maybe. One candle doesn't even really incentivize me to do it at all, though. Another academic study, good lord. Ballard skilled the hand that card this. Ballard,
The loathing whispers.
The Jinx actually would have been incredible on Victor, and Shadowborn would have been incredible on Ballard. However, unfortunately, that was the opposite of what happened. Combat Start versus Cosmic, one stress 50% of the time, but we also get the Jinx. Apply to attacker, so whoever hits me, either combo, vulnerable, blind, or weaken. And that's or. Exclusive. Oh, what's this barricade get behind it? Ah! I see. Song of Shadows to attempt to hide. I'm sorry, friend, but, You're not really well hidden from me.
Cooperation is the key.
Noting the targeting that the enemies here share, I'm going to defend the second front line. Try and get ready for a weird reconstruction for a big heal as well. Before that, though, Abyssal Artillery to punish the enemies for even trying to take a turn setup. How dare you? You didn't ask permission. You're gonna spend your turn guarding someone who's dead? Just sitting by the bedside? Okay. You know what? Just gonna go with another Abyssal Artillery. Super reasonable damage there. No great reason to betray that. I do want to try and take the stress. That said, I could also just use a mineral-rich spring water. Let's do that.
Small reprieve from this carousel of horrors.
Allows us to heal some stress. Dang it. 4 to 6 damage. 5 would have been needed to put the enemy on death's door before their death blow trigger there. Oh wow, we're just stunning everyone consistently here. I love it. That's what they get for attacking me 10% of the time, but it constantly triggers anyway. Keep that target weakened and stunned and all of the other good things.
The fiend's strength dwindles.
Oh, did really not expect that crit. But I still get an extra round here courtesy of the enemy's death door resistance. $32 is not low enough, right? It's 33% HP that the target has to be under.
There is beauty in our imperfections.
Yeah, it'd be 96 max HP if that was viable, unfortunately. Yeah, it's probably just finish the fight in the showiest way.
We are the flame, burning brightly for all the world to see.
I could totally see subbing this in for the final fight. Ready Protectorate for plus 20% to healing given. Also leeches for removing disease. I'll keep that in my back pocket. And I won't sit down lest I crush them. Excellent. Very close to the end. This is our final location.
The brutish creatures must be confronted.
Wow. This is certain death. Victor and Willow are both saying. No! Ballard knows the way! Fight the enemies! 4 relationship I have to drop in order to take this combat. I wonder if it's not even worth it because of that. I almost feel like I should use more rather than Acid Rain here. Yeah, fine. Managed to blind one of the enemies. There's a power check for 2. Some blight, some stress, but ultimately 10% healing. Below the enemies to remove the rest of those dodge tokens, as well as
that another may finish the work.
See if I can get anything else useful there. And in fact, we managed to slow all of them down. Don't munch me! Oh, you gave me the users! Thankfully, I already have the ability to get rid of that. The users is blighting myself at turn start. Acid rain. Oh, incredible crit there. Managed to heal the stress of someone else, but not yourself. Alright, so that's all of the Swine Skulkers dead of DOTs. Let's start dealing with the Carrion, who is blinded, can't move, and stunned. More likely than you might think.
A steady subtraction, an invariable result.
This is great. I might actually be able to remove all of the corpses before the enemy gets to attack. Oh, that'll be sick. Yeah, I'm gonna do it. Demon's Pool, and there go all of the corpses.
Empowered, emboldened.
Try and get you down to death's door. Oh, never mind, you don't have a death's door because you didn't need a corpse.
It's a lesson learned.
Picked ourselves up a mastery as well as the covert cloak. If the flame is low, 66% chance at turn start to gain stealth and some death blow resistance piercing for ranged abilities.
The loathing.
Not really important, to be honest. At all. You know what is important is the fact that over the course of this area, I've almost entirely run out of flame. I might want to consider starting to invest in Glimmers of Hope again. The ability to increase our torch while we are in a run. Stimulating Poultice for +4 speed until the next inn to a character. Love that. Willow would love to be faster.
The fire is lit. The table is set. The inn awaits its favorite guests.
I don't like this. Vestal Secret, the reading material here is questionable and undeniably compelling. Now I know what that means as well. Okay. Man, Tristan and Victor and Willow and Ballard each got 2 quirks. So that's going to remove a bunch of the quirks they already have. And they might be negative. Ooh, Tristan got Swine Fury and Cosmic Slayer. Okay, that's fine. Victor got Sickly and Coward. The only real change there is interactions that Coward may trigger, as well as the 5% chance to gain stress when hit. Willow is a Scrounge of the Shroud Scrounger rather, as well as a Kleptomaniac, so she'll find additional stuff, but then she'll also keep it to herself. Ballard, Neat Freak. Depends on cleanliness for sanity. But also, plus 100% to combat route scouting. I think I already have a Vigilant member in my party, which kind of invalidates the value of getting a second one. Yeah. Victor didn't get any positives, so I didn't replace any of my positives. I guess that technically is good. Willow, let's remove your oozes.
Spend what you can, or wealth no longer has meaning. If indeed it ever did.
Poetry for some stress reduction as well as some friendship betwixt party members seems good. It's only 2 glimmers of hope here to buy, but I will take both. We still have one very bad relationship in the party, and that's between Ballard and Willow. Unfortunately, neither of them is stressed, so appropriating stress reduction for them seems incorrect. I'm going to take the poetry for stress reduction between Victor and whoever Victor likes the least. Which is Willow right now, but Willow is also just above the 14. I'm almost certain to form a positive relationship with Tristan, actually, if Victor and Tristan read some poetry together. And Tristan has become erudite as a result. Plus 10% to debuff resistances. Give you a torch to start working with here. Love it. Let's head to the mastery trainer.
Learns quickly when survival demands it.
Yeah. I want more upgraded so that it heals for more.
Consider your position and plan accordingly.
Naked and Afraid would have to be what we would try and go to the Shroud for. Surgeon's Mixing Kit. Before each location, chance to reduce restorative items. I don't want that, so I don't care that I'm not meeting the goal anyway. The alternative I also wouldn't care about, and honestly I would probably still go to the field hospital even if I found one, so no real issues there. Loathsome, plus 100% to Oblivion Tears. I don't really have much Oblivion at the moment. I can try and manage Oblivion reasonably. Like taking a lot of fights in the area because I'm quite powerful. Of course, slight consideration needs to be given to the fact that I have a Shroud Scrounger in Willow, so they know where to find the best resources there. Admittedly, the Tangle would be very easy for us in terms of the lair, with 2 members of our party in Ballard with the Abyssal Artillery and Victor with Acid Rain, who are more than capable of comfortably hitting the enemy backline consistently, as well as doing something else while they do that. It would not be a problem. It's almost a foregone conclusion that that would just happen and we would be fine. Possibly one of the largest problems is that the Flagellant could get booted. Could get pushed around a bit. So I could try and mitigate that with the Stake and Spuds. Lowers their speed, but it increases their movement resistance by 10. 10. 10's not enough. I would still instead be opting to use Defender. So I think I should just use Defender instead then. Also, we're getting close to the point where I want to upgrade either Inspiring Tune or Endure. We're not entirely there yet, but we're just off the edge of it. Final thing I'll want to do before finishing this area is buy 2 apples and cheese and a stale bread, and that is going to every member of the party that is not Victor. And we'll head out to the Shroud.
The barnacled timbers of the coastal villages are sodden with salt and secrets.
That's a positive relationship because it has to be.
Aspiration unites the hopeful.
Oh, Endure removes the stress from Tristan. That's really good. Command, not so much. Ooh.
While the heart still beats, desire will never die.
Acid Rain removes all of the DOTs from Willow, and Harvest heals Victor by 10%. That's ridiculous. Harvest heals Victor by 8. Wow.
Propriety floats listless on the tide, brined in noxious degradation.
Alright, what do these need done to them? Wee little bit of murdering for all you. Alright, yeah, fair enough, fair enough. Haven't upgraded Bella yet. I need to do that before the next area though. Can you not try and ruin my life like that? It's just rude. I almost feel like I need to try and make the enemy slower, first off, so that I can actually get a round of combat against them.
A slow dissection. An unavoidable end.
Mm-hmm. Don't love having to do that manually.
The fiend's strength dwindles.
I believe slowing them down was the correct choice, because both of the enemy backliners, including the one that had a crit tucked up its sleeve, ready to fire off, are going to die before they can do anything.
In crisis, we can rely only upon each other.
Just trying to minimize the amount of actions, follow-ups, etc. available for the enemy. Oh. Yikes. Intentionally moving myself forward here denies the ability of Victor to hit this target. I think I'm just gonna heal Victor with the harvest instead then. Oh, and it heals for 9. Neat. Confirming for me that that rounds up. Let's set up combo on the target, so that I have some blight resistance piercing. Oh! That execution also increased the relationship between Ballard and Victor. Any damage ability will do. Oh, especially if you manage to move him backwards like that. That's useful. Perfect. That'll get it done. Got 2 positive relationship charges out of that fight. If nothing else, worth it.
Burning brightly for all the world to see.
Also, that's a road combat, so getting any resources out of it whatsoever is also a boon. Oh my god. Hero Shrine? A hero... Ooh, also positive relationships, love it. Actually getting to go to hero shrines! Ballard says that pyramid changed everything. Let's learn more about the Occultist.
Chapter 2. A door in the desert.
And maybe even unlock a skill that we want to use this run.
He found himself in a vast expanse of windswept dunes. Ahead, the stone spires of a pyramidal temple called down jagged bolts from a rolling, angry sky. Undaunted, he crossed the threshold of the towering aperture, settled himself upon the central dais, and prepared for the coming sacrifice.
Oh, I can't wait to actually play your missions. Binding Shadows. From our front 3 positions to the enemy's front 3 positions, it moves us forward. It also gives us a strength token, or whatever the name of that token is for the Occultist. What is that token called? Unchecked Power. Gives us an unchecked power token. Oh, and the upgrade has a 50% chance to just give an unchecked power token as well. Interesting.
Carefully.
I do want to run the melee version of the Occultist at some point.
Is tomorrow's regret.
Excellent. So I can go to the left here, ignoring the watchtower, and still cut across to the lair, and the lair has the hospital afterwards as well, so I can start clearing up some negatives there. Neat. I'm going to take the left here because I want the path that has more unknowns, so that I might be able to get a hero shrine or something like that. Hoarder means almost nothing to me, and I'm actually quite disappointed to see it.
Wheels askew, coach limping. Be prudent.
Mm-hmm. Couldn't repair anything about my wagon before. Oh well. Let's see all the stuff we couldn't get. Don't really care about stand in the knife. Emancipation. If HP is low, 25% extra damage. Punish steals a positive token. Negative 20% to bleed resist. Honestly, probably not really worth. I mean, Tinker's Bench could have been cool, especially. Other than that, kind of fine to miss this Hoarder. I wouldn't say I miss him, you know?
Daft one he was, eh? Another story. Glad you asked.
Nah, he feels like he needs to have a more full-throated kind of bellow voice, you know?
The loathing whispers.
The ability to remove blindness in the middle of combat. It's just very impactful is the thing about that. I'm gonna give that to Victor, and the primary reason I'm doing that is because I want to still have it accessible by the time I get to the lair. Maybe I should not use it then if I want to have it accessible by the time I get to the lair. Oh, Victor. If we give 12 relics to them, we can get 30 torchlight. That's useful, as well as some defensive applications for our vehicle. Love it. We get 30 flame, 1 armor, 1 wheels. Yeah, actually, never mind. I'm gonna trade Victor's stuff back for the moment. I have enough warning of when I'm about to go into the lair that I can deal with it then. It's just that boss, when the mists come in, has the ability to blind us. I think it also just has a blinding ability as well. But it has a lot of ability to blind. So guaranteeing that I'm still capable of taking out, like, the hand or something like that, despite being blinded, is very worthwhile.
Victor! We're alive with purpose. Eviscerate them.
Although, Victor, you already have a perfect relationship with Tristan, and you've got a reasonable relationship with Willow. Willow, however, is able to increase 2 relationships at the same time here. Tristan would obviously only be increasing 1, for the same reason. So instead of gaining the crit tokens and giving the enemies the strength token here, I'm just gonna deal. Better relationships this way. Nice attempt to enfeebling my ass.
The bleed works though. Oh, that bleed works.
Alright. Abyssal Artillery. Spike Ball did everything to the Herald. Nice. Abyssal Artillery into the Acid Rain. I do really want to knock a Evangelist out of position. Significantly lowers their available impact. Bellowing's not bad, but when it's not removing a crit token right now, it feels behind pace.
Bravo!
Cool. Nothing coming out of the cherub.
Let us hope to finish this
Except
quickly.
a death rattle. And their final breath.
Get him with the jinx.
Herald in the back line is very unlikely to be killed this round because I can't deal enough damage to do so.
Malaise, measured and steady.
Only the Flagellant would have had the ability to hit the back line with Acid Rain there. No one else acts before the Herald that can hit that line, that is. I could use Rampart again to push the Evangelist out of position. Beautiful. And in fact, let's just make sure that you also have a weaken token from going down to Death's Door. Wow, I actually wasn't thinking about this. Herald can't be moved as well. Interesting. Yeah, they also had a Daze token, so they were going to be slowed until I had my own attack. That said, I still think this was probably correct. Uses Inversion to take all of the debuffs off of allies, including allies that are already about to die. Love that. Time for an Inspiring Tune. Definitely think I could get away with an Acid Rain right now. Yeah, I had to use that because I need to make sure that the Herald is revealed for more damage. And now I'll have some time to do some more stress recovery after this. And... of course. Should have just bellowed.
Steady subtraction, an invariable result.
I'm gonna learn my lesson this time. And it seems very appropriate to roll more. But I can't guarantee that I'm gonna move in speed. Right, okay. I have to use Endure, removing 3 stress from the party there. And then Willow, you're just gonna move back. Weird Reconstruction for 24, and then Willow can do the stress healing. So... double weak, remove, crit, no. The enemy possibly sets themselves up with a crit token here, so I want to have the ability still to remove their crit as a unfired bullet in the chamber. That said, I could also attempt to try and gain some healing out of this with more. Which is what I wanted to do last turn, but was denied rudely by the efficiency of other actions.
Empowered, emboldened.
Oh, big days. Stop them from moving immediately, and instead they moved right away. Weakening Curse removes the crit.
Steady yourself.
Oof. A lot of stress consistently there still. Plus 20% max HP and damage for these enemies is really working. Oh, neat. I actually gave a second Daze token to someone who already had a Daze token, which stuns them. I'm gonna use a mineral-rich spring water rather than try and drag this out. Lovely. I think we also get 10 torch for having completed that fight.
The past is gone. Let it die.
Selfish motivation, plus 50% damage per negative token. At round start, add a negative token. Oh boy.
The loathing abates.
I don't hate that. I really don't. Wait, but do I need to be doing extra damage on that character? They're a DOT character. No, I'm fine without it.
A simple choice. At least it should be.
Which of these is towards the lair? That is this. So there we go.
Prepared for the upcoming obstruction.
I'm hoping we just have clean streets. Never mind. That's fine. I guess I can remove this way. fighting the fight at the end of this road. But I was hoping to remove the other one by doing that. Wow, people really want to leave. Coward! The hackles on my neck are up. I guess I'm just gonna jeopardize my relationships here. Removing the loathing is more important, I think, than those relationships. Also, they're, so close to full that it feels like maybe I would have been wasting a lot of the charges that were just slightly more than full. So maybe this is way more efficient for enough reasons. Unfortunately, I'm not really going to be able to stop the crit of the fishmonger in that backline. I'd really like if I could somehow taunt the effect of it onto myself. I can defend one other member of the party, so I'll defend one of the more vulnerable ones in Willow. Flen's, great, was redirected exactly that way, saved 8 damage. Let's try and pull the fishmonger out of position. Also setting up combo on it at the same time. Oh, I mean, yeah, if you have to hull break anyone, please. Please make that your target. I suspect any move really would have done that turn. Yeah, let's set up the combo and weaken on the enemy front. They also got daze, so they're not going to be moving yet either. Annoyingly, I don't actually want to try and stun that target. Yeah, I'm going to bellow you. Hull breaker for 13. Oh, you also managed to move me out of position. Rude. Gonna have to manually fix that. Although thankfully I still get a huge full heal there.
The enemy weakens and wanes.
Let's add some vulnerability to the hull breaksman. And sure, now I will risk stunning you.
Excellent work.
If nothing else, big crit. There's a 30% chance for them to resist that stun, so pretty reasonable. Oof.
Any being, however horrid, can be brought to heel.
Actually, I probably should have moved backwards just... Yeah. Just for the sake of Flagellant actually having access to their abilities there. Never mind. Just finish the battle off. Could have been a little bit more optimal near the end there.
Sweet reprieve.
Hopefully that doesn't come back to bite me.
The next test is put before you.
The next test?
An elementary problem, is it not?
Annoying.
They prostrated themselves before the primogenial power of the obelisks, and were rewarded for their supplication.
Primogenial. First. Greatest? C'est génial?
Your collection can wait.
Oi!
Press onward.
Bugger off! No, it can't. I've got to fix the I've got too many things. Definitely don't need the covert cloak. I can't really imagine too many situations I would. Lair is not the next thing. Another Oblivion's Ingress. Oh boy. Oh gosh. I guess I'm glad at the location where I'm going to be able to remove some loathing. Especially because I have plans to gain more loathing soon. Is there anything I really want to change about my team before I go into Oblivion? Before I go into an Oblivion's Ingress? Ballard, why don't you form better relationships with people as well as blind the enemies here? I want Ballard to have the ability to agree with people in those often.
Incremental, but deadly all the same.
I don't like when the enemies are so much faster than me here. Oh, there's a crit token I'm capable of removing at least. Definitely time for some acid rain.
An opportunity squandered.
Annoying. Fails to hit each of the targets I would have liked it to. Do I just rely on the blindness preventing that crit? Because if I can rely on the blindness preventing that crit, I can actually try and hit both of the backliners here, which would be nice. Wow. It didn't roll any of the effects it could have. So it missed 5 15%, it missed a 25%, and it missed another 25% on each of the targets. I have to imagine that's not especially likely. I can certainly pump the torch right now. I could probably pump it a second time and free up a combat slot. I'm gonna yell at you all, actually. I'd like to have some speed over you next round. Wow, never mind. -3 to all of the enemy's speed. They'll still be going first, though. Ah, right, because they're hastened enemies. That's the modifier, +4 to their speed. Love that that crit was blinded. Let's use Vulnerability Hex to get rid of that taunt token as well as one of the block pluses. Allows me instead to use Acid Rain to target the enemy backline.
Measured and steady.
Give them an absolute bollocking. There goes the cherub. The least threatening of the units on board, but it does go away, so there's that. The crit does not manage to push, but does stun at least. That's a lot of bleed you keep putting on my characters. Just had you considered not doing it though? Just sorry, I just feel it my duty to make sure that I at least check. I would have to just rectify my party positioning next turn. Actually, I'm fine with using Endure next turn. Okay. See if we can stun another of the evangelists, which we do. So I can use this Endure to take 3 stress off of the party in general. As well as set up a ideal target for a future... I heal by 1, but thankfully I don't bleed at least. Set up a target for a future song play at. You know how words good. I'm gonna have to have the Jester manually move themselves backwards with a solo here. And then it's on the round after that that I'm really gonna have my potential. Bellow at the enemies. I mean, stunning them would be a bonus, but I just wanted to get some debuffs while removing the taunt. I'm going to use Adrenaline Touch here. It will prevent me from using Weird Reconstruction, but I can't be in a situation where I suddenly lose a character because I just didn't hit 2 heals in a row. So this is a safety tool. Totally reasonable as a safety tool, I feel. And I'll now try and pull the altar forwards. And we managed to not only pull it forwards, but put it in a position where I can solo it to death easily. That also put one of the evangelists out of position. I love when something does 2 things at once. Okay. I'm going to use mineral-rich spring water from Victor on himself, and then I'll endure off of our occultist, and with the hopeful relationship, respectful relationship, sorry, also remove some stress from Tristan in the very front line. Let's try and push the evangelist back to another safe position again. We do so. Weird Reconstruction fails again. I am ever happier that I used my other ability before. Play an Inspiring Tune. I'd love to play more Inspiring Tunes as well, but we'll see how much time I get. Oh, we resisted the bleed on both of the characters. That's huge. Of course, part of that is because of the bleed resists that Tristan is capable of giving out, courtesy of being the Sergeant path. On each ally's turn, start a 20% chance to gain 50% resistances to all DOTs. My god, 3 in a row? This one did bleed though, so for whatever that's worth. What is vague panicking worth these days? What does that go for? I'm gonna pop a more to try and control the enemy's positioning a bit. Please apply a DOT. Dang. 33% chance there to have also applied a bleed, which could have killed that evangelist before it ever acted again. Wow, thanks for all the healing, buddy. Really could not have been doing better for us, I think, actually. Might as well guarantee the other one doesn't act this round.
The work continues.
7 definitely puts us still on death's door though, which I did not think about. What? No, never mind. We're 1 off of death's door. We're all good, baby. Did not manage to. Oof. You know what, Ballard? I'm sorry. I don't believe in you. I'm gonna use the potion there. I'm so glad that I kept those just in case. Let's use a weakening curse to remove the crit that the enemy would be trying to do here. And, in fact, set up the ability to directly stun that enemy. Another positive relationship charge. We're getting a lot of positive relationship charges here. I'm gonna endure. Setting up for the possibility of another Inspiring Tune on a later turn. And do a slice off on the interim. Oh my god. We are getting an absurd amount of relationship interactions and triggers here. It's actually kind of wild. And a lot of stress as well. Weird Reconstruction, and it's a crit this time. That's what we were setting up for the whole time. I believed the whole time. Ignore what I said. Then, but don't, now I'm not. Anyway, Wolf's Blood for +3 speed, but negative maximum HP, and Dark Impulse in case I want to resist Blight. Excellent. Let's get a solve there. Oops, soaked there. Spiked ball, I mean, I only need something serrated, right? So I can take a full stack of 4 bear traps instead. And Ballard, actually hilariously, like an AoE would be sick on Ballard. Because of the enlightening and sparkle ball. Actually, an AoE would also be hilarious on Willow, because it would have the chance still of triggering the Fisherman's Line. That said, there's not that many enemies in the upcoming lair fight. At least the boss fight that I'm actually concerned about. Speaking of concerns, are there any important tools that I would be able to use to try and comfortably navigate that fight better? Like Victor, for instance. Do you have anything you could comfortably do from position 3? Honestly, not really. And that seems particularly intentional. Gotta go to the lair, baby. If I don't get a token, a trinket, a trophy, there we go. How will the townsfolk know what to pay me for my Witcher services? Wrong game series. Let's head to the Sacred Pier instead.
The Church of the Change. An inglorious heap of rotting timbers.
That's not an ideal movement. Rude. I'm gonna bellow the speed away from everyone because I believe that buying myself a 3 rounds worth of actions in the next round is gonna be worth it, but the value of that is heavily being jeopardized by the stunning of our backline members there and things like that. Gotta go for the Acid Rain first off. Would love to Sky Slap as well. Alas. Harvest, and I'm hoping to harvest again very quickly at the start of the next round. Doesn't look like that's happening, but another Acid Rain will, and a Sky Slaps it looks like. Didn't manage to stun that guy either, unfortunately. Oh, they have high stun resist. Impervious enemies, plus 50% to stun resist. That'll be why. That'll make that make sense.
Let us hope to finish this quickly.
Finale can hit their backline. I'm gonna take out that bosun. The 2 remaining actors both had enough DOTs to die after that solo. So now I'm looking for vulnerability. And then we can just murder you the good old-fashioned way. With relentless application of physical force. That'll do it.
Another impediment, cleared with impunity.
That's the intent, Wayne. Ooh, Captain. Love seeing that. God, that's a lot of good tokens! What are the conditions on which you can use that? Only from the backline.
Prelude to action.
That makes sense, but immediately, wow. That's a lot. I'm gonna have to start, oof. Oh, I know what I think I have to do, actually. I'm gonna pull the fishmonger out of position.
Malaise.
What?
Measured and...
They had like a 10% chance to resist that. That's so annoying. Without being able to pull them out of position, yeah, 10% chance to remove that. I'm now not going to be able to use Rampart as a follow-up to try and stun that fishmonger try and take away one of their turns at least so that they can't buff and then crit. However, since they now still have access to that, I'm going to make sure that it defends one of the more vulnerable members of our party. I recognize that the very back line is actually more vulnerable, but as it turns out, the enemy wasn't going to target them.
What can we
And
learn
couldn't
upon
have.
closer
No, wait,
inspection?
could have. Never mind, it definitely could have. Harvest time.
The enemy weakens and wanes.
I'm gonna roll more here, because rolling Acid Rain just to hit a target that's already dead, and also to try and remove the dodge of a target that isn't, just doesn't feel valuable.
Early results are encouraging.
Pull. Dang, I was really hoping they would pull the Flagellant back forwards. Heal hole.
Big hit right there, buddy. How dare you?
Classic Sky Slap kind of situation there, and... yeah, actually, as long as I use Solo as a follow-up.
Quiets the howling mind.
That's pretty reasonable of a move. Solo on the bosun will prevent it from acting. But Solo on the captain might give other characters the ability to prevent the captain from acting, because the captain is dazed, so they're not going to be acting early at least. Both of them... no. Unfortunately, the captain still lives, so I need to expend one more charge against that backline, and that'll do it.
Obstacle in our path.
Excellent.
Lovely ongoing stress management. Buy ourselves a huge amount of time there. I can raise his wit forward with a little bit of crit panache. Heck, we can even directly weaken the enemy, increasing the relationship with the person who hit them last. And you know what, Victor, I'm going to have you follow up immediately as well, for the possibility of increasing your relationship.
Nice.
With Ballard up there in the back line. Bosun, you are already dead. So, let's try and
Another
do something
impediment
similar again.
Cleared with impunity.
Okay.
What?
Carved Bodkin. At turn start, if you're bleeding, 20% chance to have an extra action, and -2 bleed received. Interesting. The Lashing Tides increases stacking of combat items by 2 per stack. That's actually a really good trophy for us. What with all of the Tinker's gear that I have. Academic's map is some scouting, Fishmonger's gloves. I mean, it's a bad version of the Fishmonger's spindle or whatever I have at the moment. That said, all of this is irrelevant to the fact that I want the fight anyway.
Oh, hello, big-headed.
They must be made to see that their monstrous god is mortal.
They breathe some sea at us. How dare you. Okay, let's bear trap you to start off with. 6 bleed, so it did its own 3, and then an additional 3 from the Fisherman's line. I mean, I can theoretically inspire a tune, but it makes sense to land a crit bleed immediately. 9 bleed for 5 turns. Eye of the Storm comes out there. I believe I need to set up my defender in this fight. Seems like Endure is a totally reasonable move to take there then. Enemy's blight resistance isn't especially high. Try and add some weaken to the enemy. I don't think the enemy ever has a crit that I care about, so... They didn't weaken, we did burn them and add the combo token though.
Rely only upon each other.
Deeply unfortunately, I can't stun the enemy here. They are entirely immune to that. The fog has lifted. The undertow occurs, and of course, it doesn't do anything. It can't. 115 move resist here. Even with a sprained ankle, Tristan's unmovable. I can punish all the way up until line 3. Hilariously, like, Acid Rain is actually better. It's higher crit chance and also a higher blight amount. We'll get directly through the enemy's resistances as well, courtesy of the combo on them. We do need to deal with the Leviathan's hand also. I'm gonna bear trap it and then harvest. 2 stacks of 9 bleed. It rolls batter. Unfortunately, does move the Jester into a position that would suck. My god, Tidal Surge comes out. They batter the Jester again. Back into a better position. Never mind, we're all fine. Leviathan's hand will die next time it attempts to act, which is actually pretty ideal. Weird reconstruction. I attempt to heal a character, but I fail immediately. Let's use a healing salve instead to guarantee that they still stay alive. And I believe I do want to stand fast. Undertow is attempted. And the hand will die before... Oh, nice crit. Hand will die before it ever gets to act. But after the Leviathan would have resummoned it, I think. Rolling Rampart just for the sake of damage right now. The guard that I am currently using, I think, is actually almost worn out. I'm gonna re-establish that. Tidal Surge was completely missed there. Love to see that. It'd be nice if I could more consistently blind the enemy and be happy about it. Unfortunately, Willow is also like our key damage class right now, so
Malaise, measured and steady.
It feels really inappropriate to try and use Inspiring Tune. A lot of the damage that I have dealt to the Leviathan is not yet visible, but does exist. I don't want to harm Victor's relationships with every other member of the party. So I'm not going to elect to intentionally light myself. Sorry, intentionally toxify myself. Just gets rid of my blindness token if nothing else. Can't use the bear trap because then I no longer have access to the other stuff. You know what? Yeah, you're about to be targeted, so... Why don't you score that? There's the Undertow again. Tidal Surge managed to crit one member of the party with only one crit. Doesn't feel that bad. Batter fails to move our frontliner as well, because of course it does. I'm gonna bellow at both of you.
Any being
Lower their speed.
can be brought to heel.
So Sepsis can go through to the backline now. It's a very tiny heal and does almost no damage. I wonder if I should do that. Wondering complete. I've moved on to Acid Rain instead. Leviathan's down on death's door next time it attempts to act, and the time after that it attempts to act, it dies. I think I don't deal with the hand anymore, but I do think I probably use a turn for some inspiring tune. I'll make sure that the enemy also has weaken and combo on them, just in case they do get another turn out. I don't want it to be especially impactful. Sepsis wouldn't actually even put them down to death's door just yet, unfortunately. Which would be very valuable if it did, though. Victor, I'm gonna have you
Compassion quiets the howling mind.
start dealing with stress. There's the surge. I wasn't going to be happy about that ever, but at least I'm not sad about it. That truly would have been the worst state of affairs. Defend the vulnerable.
The slow suffering begins.
That's fair. Rude. If I knew I was going to have to deal with that ever, I would have acted differently. Alas. Let's use Sepsis to deal a death blow and heal ourselves.
Greater threats
Tough lair
await
fight.
those who dare.
Let's try and start justifying which of these we throw away easily, though.
The loathing abates.
Okay, so... no one's entirely empty on items, but Willow, you can stack those bear traps atop the already used ones. Chalk dust? I really just don't see that being valuable enough to really justify its own position. Let's take bandages for Ballard. I'm going to drop 2 stacks of chalk dust. I'm just not going to get to them, and I'm not going to use them. Might as well be realistic with myself. Let's also drop the garbage trinkets. Could I theoretically see a world where we actually wear the fishmonger's gloves alongside the fishmonger's line because we have the fishing net? Yes. I could theoretically see that world. Carved bodkin, much more difficult to justify. Calibrating sensor similarly. Dark impulse setups for higher resistances. I don't think that's relevant. Save maybe the Dark Impulse that lowers the chance of taking Blight, especially for the Exemplar fight, because the Exemplar fight gives a huge amount of Blight. And if I have my Flagellant taunting in the Exemplar fight, and with 50% base resistance to blight, if I also sub in the Dark Impulse for extra... In fact, I probably ought to do that right now. I now have 100% resistance to blight, and the Exemplar is going to be significantly less of a problem as a result. Less chance to be stunned? We're not often stunned. Greatest sensing, cleansing sensor. Very unlikely to end up utilizing that over the top of anything else that I have. Same for the Rousing Ringer. And in fact, we already have a party that can trudge onwards, so I'll let them. Everyone wants to go to the unknown here. It's really annoying, though. Like, what? Slow-handed I would want to get rid of. Coward's kind of bad, too. Realistically, I don't actually have a huge amount of things that I need to get rid of. And also, it's de-stressing my entire party to go to the left, whereas going to the hospital stresses my entire party and then removes the stress it gave to my party. I'm gonna go to the left. Hero Shrine, Hero Shrine, Hero Shrine. Ooh.
A hasty and reckless thing indeed.
A hovering polyhedra. A unique item with unique trinkets. Also, likely, unique quirks. Wait, hang on. Hovering polyhedra? No, this is gonna be the high stress, high...
Study, full of the forbidden and the forgotten.
Ballard. No way! I want no commune with this thing! Obviously, Willow is then gonna have to pick it up instead.
Amidst the spoils,
True entropy.
Unparalleled power.
Add a random target. I can't see the usefulness of that in this run. To be entirely honest, in general. Carved Bodkin's gonna be impossible. Can't use that. Let's get myself some space, though. As we've more things to run into.
Humanity, twisted by hopelessness.
I love when you set up like that. It's just very handy. Big charm. I didn't need to deal that much damage because I just wanted to push the target back so that I would have the ability to
in our path.
hit 2 targets at the same time with the acid rain there. Definitely time to continue enduring and
There
just
is comfort in company.
buying as much stress recovery as I can possibly get. And then bellow at the enemies here. Might as well heal Victor, as well as some stress, apparently. Let's set up a combo, so I might be able to stun this target. Ooh, even if I just daze them, I'll stun them. All I need to do is try and get to 1 more round on Willow. That's it. That's all we need. Big stun. I hope I can just finish the fight off after this, though. Otherwise, this is going to be really embarrassing.
Lenity. Grace. Small acts that drive.
Like, I can complete the fight, but... Oh, okay, not that turn. Thankfully, I'm not yet punished for stalling. I know there is a punishment. And I believe it's for not hitting... not dealing direct damage to an enemy in a round, I think? Might be mistaken there. Don't quote me. Ever. Items that have been utilized? No. Items that can be restacked? No. Kinda wanna just throw away the slime mold, to be entirely honest with you, and I will, and then we'll move onwards. Sick. Second spike ball. That's a lot more impactful as a tool for Willow to be holding. It's going to be very good in the final fight, I believe. Hello, Olivia's ramp up. The enemy's flesh is warped and they are taking 50% less damage to melee skills now. The Altar of Obsession is the Taunt Forcer. I wonder if I should try and pull the altar forward directly. Yeah, I think so. Got a combo token set up on it. Oh, it's also immobilized, hell yeah. Yeah, I can stun.
Bravo!
It's stunned and it's stuck at the front of the party as well. The beauty of it all. I mean, I don't want to set up a bunch of bleed on the Deacon who's just about to throw the bleed away. What with the regen? Uh-oh. Oh, it resisted the blight there as well. That's annoying. Unfortunately, it's obviously not stunned anymore. It's got these 2 worship tokens on it. It needs to die. Oh, but the Deacon has a taunt token instead. The Bellow, unfortunately, failing to stun the Deacon with it. Missile artillery to try and set up a bunch of tokens on the enemies. It does.
Hold fast, for who knows what lurks
That's
in
so
the
much
beyond.
stress. Thankfully, I can blight targets now. Yeah, I'm actually going to take a turn to use an Inspiring Tune relatively early on in this fight. Just hitting the Deacon's not really going to help me. Let's roll a Defender for some Block Plus tokens as well. I just denied myself the ability to actually hit the altar as well. That's annoying. Well, the altar gets exactly 1 more turn to live, and I just have to deal with that. That's fine. It could be worse. Deacon,
Observe
what do
the
you do?
subject carefully, and you will discover its weaknesses.
It can use Exaltation from the back. So maybe I don't want to pull the Deacon to the back position. Weird Reconstruction rolls 5 health. Nice. A Sundering Steel only doing 1 damage is about as good as it gets. Get missed. Abyssal Artillery managed to hit the target I care about, as well as remove the taunts that I care about at the same time. And in fact, the backline target is now going to die to their own DOT. Beautiful. Could not have worked out better for us. This Deacon, though. I'd like if you took some damage. Perfect time to start taking stress off of other characters as well.
Small acts that drive back the darkness.
Sundering Steel for actual damage and stress. Yeah, I'll endure some of your stress for you. And heck, I'll even seek help to manage that. Flesh from Bone is not gonna manage to hit a DOT. And neither is Weird Reconstruction. Deacon in the very back line there. Let's endure even more stress, because ultimately that is what I am trying to get done here. I'm going to take the 10% heal that's on the table here with the harvest. Also the ability to start working on one of the corpses. 0 to 24 and we heal for 23. That's pretty much what we needed. Flesh from Bone does 1 damage, does manage to hit a bleed. And not only do we get our resilient stress recovery, lower than 50% HP on Victor the Flagellant, we also then hit exactly 5 stress, preparing us for an inspiring tune.
Cooperation is the key.
That's as well as the end of that fight could have possibly gone. Ridiculous recovery.
Potency still lingers in some of these well-worn relics.
We don't do straight up damage, we do DOT, so wounding words doesn't make a huge amount of sense here for us. Cleansing sensor, already turned down a better version of that. I'm probably just going to immediately throw wounding words.
The loathing whispers.
Actually, I'm going to immediately throw True Entropy and leave Whispering Words just in case. Because it's still theoretically possible that one of my party members dies at some point, and when they die at that point, they add another member to the party who cares about those trinkets more. Just making sure that everyone has items. The heck? I did not order you to stop. Oh, gotta love seeing a whiskey barrel turn up. Well, do I actually have to love seeing a whiskey barrel turn up there? Feels like that has the ability to ruin a lot more of our relationships than it has the ability to fix.
Lower your guard. Soften your gaze. It is safe here.
Well, Willow definitely took that to heart and lowered her guard. At round start, 15% chance to become vulnerable. At combat start, become dazed. Checking the provisioner.
Fair, but fairly priced. Everywhere in ruin. Everywhere in need.
Plus 100% to academic studies location scouting. And Cosmic Curiosity is visit 3 academic studies. Interesting. There's also plus 100% chance of getting Candles of Hope at those academic studies. And
Planning and mindfulness, as vital to survival as sharpened steel.
ooh, touching dirges. Maybe that would be for a later date. And we would have the ability to take an Almanac for plus 15% damage in the region, which would be especially impactful, because that is the region where we are going to be finding the Exemplar. Yeah, having a look at our party relationships, Whiskey Barrel would be right now or never. I could take a book of touching dirges first as well if I wanted to try and shore myself up. I'm going to take the Whiskey Barrel first. Perfect. Not perfect, obviously, but as close as we could reasonably expect. Tristan, you... It's Willow and Ballard that have the worst relationship. We can try and fix that with some whiskey. Let's get one more. That'll do it. Do I want to risk trying to move a 17 to a 20 with one more whiskey? Yeah, let's do it. That's Ballard and Tristan. That's why you don't do it. Alas. I could buy some whiskey flasks to try and fix that up. And I will. At least we get them back to 17. Checking the provisioner. Yeah, there is the almanac that we can pick up. Removal of negative quirks as well. Sickly doesn't matter that much. Coward admittedly also doesn't matter that much. Off guard is awful. Neither of those are important things for Willow to have as positives, though, so I think, Willow, you'll actually want to use 2 wild teas. There goes Zoophobic. There goes Kleptomaniac and Vigilant. I really wanted to get rid of Off Guard, actually, was my priority. I could buy the 67% chance to do that, and I will.
Comfort on the road to damnation.
Nice. Your speed on round 1 matters a lot. I feel like I should probably take some glimmers of hope into the next area as well. I feel like I also probably need some stimulating poultices for later in the run. Academics map isn't necessary. I only have one more region, and I'm already going to be scouting all of the studies. Oh, it's shift-click.
Experience, however painful, is the greatest teacher of all.
Let's take the damage in the Fatal.
A smoother ride. For a time, at least.
Increase the stacking of combat items as well. Annoyingly, none of those are combat items that I'm already using, so I'm not really actually, or hadn't really actually freed up any space for myself. Is there anything else I need to do before the end of this? What about for the sake of preparing for a specific fight? Obviously, comes to mind. The Exemplar. Having some smoke bombs on hand? The ability to blind the Exemplar before particularly important actions? That seems good. I could feed some people apples and cheese and stale bread. Which I will. That's the safety play I'm gonna make there. Apples and cheese. Just all. Some bread for everyone else. And our mastery trainer. There's so many abilities that I still really, really want mastered here. I mean, endure. Sepsis feels like it's actually not that great. I barely get to like really stack up DOTs on the enemy. But I guess obviously if I actually upgraded Punish, I'd be a bit better at that. Willow, you can remove tokens with Battle Ballad's upgrade. You can also remove tokens with Playout. Sorry, the token is combo, specifically. Tristan, if you upgrade Standfast, you can now remove a token with that, which I quite like. And Bellow obviously needs to be an upgrade for you as well. I do want one of my stress recovery tools to be better. That said, all of my party love one another now, so like I feel like our stress recovery tools are going to be good off of the back of that. I do like the idea of increasing the ranges for weird reconstruction. The upgrade Abyssal Artillery isn't actually that huge. I'm going to increase the range on weird reconstruction, and then finally... I really feel like Endure is probably the one I'm looking for here. Great. Feel pretty good about those upgrades. Feel pretty good about the run in general. I feel especially good about having all of our poultices prepared. I don't think we need the Soothing Poultice for later areas, so sure, let's have a lower chance for Victor to burn. And select our out through the Fatal.
And fields of our kingdom, overrun with putrescence and rot.
Let's do it. Of course, we're actually going to be embarking on this in the next episode. Hello, party!
While the heart still beats, desire will never die.
Harvest and Acid Rain, buffing one another. Respectful. The Slice Off gives big dodge to Tristan. That's worthwhile.
Tried and tested. A bond to be counted on.
Irrelevant.
Aspiration unites the hopeful.
Two abilities that aren't tagged. Also, one ability that's not tagged in Respectful, but Vulnerability Hex will give damage token to Victor, I guess. Yeah. Bellow and Demon's Pull. Legitimately pretty good again here at the bottom. The Bellow will set up for Ballad's Sky Slapping to be particularly effective. But for the moment, my name's been Rhapsody, the name of the game. That's been Darkest Dungeon 2. Top left is a series playlist for all my content in the game past, present, and future. YouTube recommendation down below. Stream past the names of the people so generally supporting Republic on Patreon.com/RhapsodyPlays at above the thank tier. And a special thanks this episode to Coldheart. Hopefully you all have been enjoying yourselves, and hopefully we'll see you all next time.